I tried to do the quiet intro. I can't do the quiet intro. I was gonna see if I could make it. I got 1 more minute left. I can't do it. I just can't do it.
I'm staring into the room like this.
You're occupied, but you know I'm the yapper. Yap, 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 yap. Ten, 9, 8, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1.
I failed miserably because I don't know where's my vape. Oh, there it is.
How did you fail miserably? It looked like this went pretty seamless.
It was actually pretty seamless. I couldn't find my vape, and now it's in like a.
Oh, you can't find your vape now.
It was in a sub pocket of my pants. These pants. Okay, anyway, what were we talking about right before the podcast?
Well, welcome back to the Dumbfounded Dipshits podcast. And right before the podcast, what we were talking about is if anybody out there, please comment if you have felt like they've been catfished by a restaurant on the internet. Now, I don't mean ordering catfish from a restaurant. I mean you thought you were going to go to this fucking place. Excuse my language. I guess we're kicked off one platform. Whoops, what? So that you've gone to this place thinking that you were going to get this thing that you saw on the internet that was all bells and whistles, and then you go there and in fact it's just wet paper, cardboard. You understand what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean? Have you been on like TikTok or like Instagram and you get local restaurants?
I've definitely went to some of like the hip places to see and whatnot. And I've definitely enjoyed most of them. I can't say I didn't, to be honest.
I've caught a couple of bad ones where you think you're getting one thing because what I was talking about is there's a smash burger joint in my neighborhood that's the internet has been trying to sell it to me, the algorithm, for the last year. And they've been open for a little while. And I finally got the human buzz as to how good the place is. And the place is actually supposed to be really good. This is from Human Voices, not the algorithm. Now, the reason why I haven't gone to this place is because there were like 3 restaurants in a row. One of them being like a Mexican, sort of like a Mexicali restaurant.
Yeah.
That had a whole bunch. And the decor I'm telling you, the decor in the videos, how they were selling this place looked awesome. It looked like just like a very hip Mexican, like almost like a nighttime spot on the weekends. I went there on the weekend at night, and it was lights on. Stale fucking tortillas. You know what I mean? Like, and I was like, what the actual? And that wasn't the only place. There's several other places. I'm not going to name them because I don't talk shit on the internet about, restaurants and stuff.
Okay, so I have. Oh my God, and I didn't think of it until just now. I was in Curacao, the country of Curacao.
Curacao, yes.
And my wife had found this. I was vegan at the time, and my wife has found this exclusive vegan place.
Mm-hmm.
And we get there, and it's in someone's backyard, basically. And the food comes, and it's like microwavable food from like vegan food, but it's like the meatballs were still cold, frozen in the middle, had no taste. They were like Gardena brand. It was horrible. The drinks, everything was bad.
That's the catfish. So you got that's severe catfish because sometimes in foreign countries, those off the beaten path restaurants, sometimes they are in like the first floor kitchen of somebody where they live, and they just have tables set up outside and they make the dopest food. So that's what you were expecting, probably. Yeah. Like when you got there and they pulled out the plastic chairs, you were like, "This better be like an episode of." Like No Reservations, Anthony Bourdain. You know what I mean? Like,
great show.
That was the original one.
It was better because that was more like his show than
yes.
No Reservations.
But the first one was No Reservations. I was the OG.
So just a heads up to you, Ryan.
Oh my God! A heads up.
I can't see the chat. It says no internet, but we are on, so there is internet.
We are on.
Now,
Let me see if is my chat on.
Tic Tac. What am I, fucking old man? TikTok.
Tic Tac.
Yeah.
You just fucking called it Tic Tac. Well, sorry.
It's boomer. We have like a few people there. They're not talking to us, but like,
would you talk to us?
There? No, I wouldn't. I would just skip through. So here we go. First video. So if you're gonna be here and stick around or watch, we're gonna get to some Nick Fuentes videos at the end of the episode because I don't know much about the guy. Ryan knows nothing about
me neither. I just started hearing his name pretty recently.
I didn't know who he was until they blamed him for Charlie Kirk getting shot. I had no idea who this fucking guy was.
I didn't even know they blamed him for getting him shot. I had no idea.
Movement. The group, you knew about that.
The Groypers. I know the Groypers. So he's the head Groyper, right?
Allegedly.
So would you want to be? Would you want to be called the head of the? Just say the names, like not even just what they're about. But you're a group called the Groypers. Would you want to be the head of that? Wouldn't you want a cooler name? Don't you think in 2025 groups would give themselves cooler names?
Yeah, you would think so, but unfortunately, no, they don't. But here's our first video. It has nothing to do with the Groypers. It has something to do with, I guess, I don't know. Not English.
Oh,
what is that?
This is sinkhole in Thailand. Look how big this thing gets.
Does it just swallow the earth? Oh,
this was last week, yeah. In a city.
Look at the water main. That's not a sinkhole.
Look at how it is. It turned into one.
Yes, it's a hole that sinks.
It was created. It was created.
You see the water? That's what caused it. That water leak is probably what caused it.
Yeah, that main definitely fucking contributed to that, but also the soft ground. And there's probably water running underneath the ground there too, groundwater. Now I know you guys had a collapse at the project building, right?
I don't pay attention.
Today there was a project building that the ventilation shaft, the incinerator shaft, like blew up.
Oh my God!
When they turned the boiler on,
look how big that. Look how the car now.
Bro, dude, there's another angle of this. I don't know if I sent you the second angle. I might have. Dude, I was in awe. I watched like 3 different videos, and it's a lot bigger than what you're seeing from there. That's just from somebody's window. I wouldn't even be in that building right now, to be quite honest with you.
Cheers, everybody.
Hell out of there.
This is lovely strawberry green tea with a little bit of THC.
Cheers. Shock Top Classic.
Which is legal in my state. Thank you. Some great advice real quick.
Get divorced and sleep under a bridge. Be a man.
Why you guys sleep under a bridge? I don't understand. Why is there a bridge involved?
Because it was like, I think, what's great about this is that they bring back old tropes from back in the day. So it was like if a guy got divorced in like the 1930s, it was like the wife was at the apartment with the kids, and I went to go sleep under a bridge. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? Like that's the doghouse. It's the old. It used to be the doghouse. That's another good one.
Let me see.
Boston, be a man. Be a man. And it's just me. Just me.
No, it's not. So now I can see the chat. What I did was I opened up a new tab for the screen and then X'd out the old tab. So now I can see the chat. It refreshed. Now I'm on the opposite side of you, but I don't care.
Who cares? Left, right. It doesn't matter nowadays, right?
It's all the same.
Everybody's getting shot.
Whoa. That's true. Does this work? Come on. There we go.
Shot out of a cannon.
I don't remember this video, but it's named Avengers Assemble. Oh, yeah, it's this.
News updates for real.
So
back at it.
I knew about this, and this is kind of crazy.
We going to war, baby. Let's go. I'm sure you've heard, but Hegseth has invited all the U.S. generals and admirals around the world have been called to Virginia for a special meeting. Like, why would they announce that to the media? Is that not poor military strategy? I don't know. Whatever.
No,
you're probably going, what's that mean, John? Does it have to do with the escalating tensions with the Russians? Mystery drones over Denmark and hybrid attack announced today? This actually shut down their main airport. What about the earthquake in Venezuela? Oh, that's your boy. The earthquake only struck Venezuela because they're drug dealers. Iran carrying out...
that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny.
What about the protests in Madagascar? Another country.
Yeah,
Nepal,
okay.
Indonesia, Philippines, Madagascar.
Now pause this for a second.
Or maybe it's just the fact the elite...
Do you know? You remember the effing news? You know effing news, right?
Yeah.
So I had no idea that was going on in Madagascar. That there was like an actual, like civilian uprising, something like that.
That's a real place.
Or is it? I don't even know. Like, yeah, Madagascar is an actual country, and there's like
really
some sort of there's issues going on there.
Not
So,
a place where there's talking animals.
but what my point is that it's like the news isn't giving you the news. The news does give you like there was no reason why I needed to see that collapse at the project building. And when there's like, like obviously like that earthquake in the Philippines, you know what I mean? Like that's bigger news. Like an earthquake is bigger news than just some building collapse and nobody got hurt. Nobody got hurt, but they just pile of bricks in the middle of, a park.
Worldwide protest is kind of important,
and worldwide protest is kind of important. Yep.
About that because they don't want to give you any ideas. But they'd rather have you protest, stupid things like Jimmy Kimmel getting kicked off the air. Let's go crazy about that.
And just talk about it for days and days and days.
It's still $7.25 federally, but you're going to complain about Jimmy Kimmel getting kicked off the air.
Now,
it's still not universal health care. And it's still homeless people in the street.
It always goes back to universal health care with you, Mike.
Jimmy Kimmel is we got to get him back on the air.
Got to get him back on the air.
Dying of cancer and can't get treatment, but Jimmy Kimmel's the way to go.
So, speaking about cancer treatment, did you see? Okay, everybody was eyes on the Hegseth thing, right?
Yeah.
Now we're going to go back to that. Eyes on the Hegseth thing. They have, Secretary of War now. Now he's Secretary of War, and he's calling all these generals. Now, number one, to his point, right? News for real. News updates for real. He's saying that, is that bad strategy? Like, okay, do you really think that when all of the supers get called to a supervisor's meeting, there is the next in command. It's not every commanding officer is there. It's all the admirals and generals, right? And blah, 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 blah. It's all the highest ranking, right? So it's like, obviously, the highest ranking people aren't always on the ships, and it's other people that are running the ships. So it's like, okay, yeah, it doesn't matter. If you were inviting people to blow them up, I doubt that would happen, being that our defense system is pretty strong. But it's like the whole show of force thing. Did that concern you at all, Mike? I got to ask you.
Like the whole meeting together, or
yeah, I mean, at first, before you found out what the meat was, because he was pretty much just fat shaming the army. No, I'm kidding, Mike.
No, I understand.
Satire.
I understand what he said. He made statements like, get rid of all the fatties and where's all the men
and the beardos and stuff,
and whatnot. But that's also he said prepare for war within.
Not that I didn't disagree with the whole standard of what a police officer, a firefighter, and or a military service person should be. But when he started saying that shit, I was like, like what you just said.
Here, look.
And dispersing military to major cities. When they started talking about that, I was like, that's what this is about. This is to get the assembly to look inward.
It also has to do with declaring Antifa a terrorist organization, because now you can say whoever you want is Antifa, because Antifa doesn't actually exist as an organization.
Now you're building to my snowball, Mike. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, it's a big deal. Now, here I have a problem with the other side of the spectrum where people go, well, if you're anti-Antifa, you're pro-fascism. I go, no, because Antifa is not an anti-fascist group. Just because you call yourselves anti-fascist, if you're going to start a riot and destroy a city, you are not anti-fascist.
I mean, honestly, they've been more of an anarchist group, right?
Yeah,
like, would you say?
Exactly. And not even a real anarchist group, because true anarchy is not destruction. True anarchy is lack of government, basically, and lack of systematic rules. Like the common sense rules exist. Don't murder, don't steal, but like systematic rules. I don't even know what that fucking means. So
yeah, but anarchy means there's no checks and balances to those rules. It's like, how do you get punished for said rule?
That's another problem. Well, you would have to be a community of people that agree, and you decide the punishments. But then guess what? That's a fucking government.
It's a democracy. Yeah.
Secretary Hegseth, from his warfighter methodology that he was really trying to push, I think that was the main focus of what you really pull out of this. If you're looking at the way that he's putting this out, it was kind of his strategic vision to be able to get after warfighting and getting away from the idea of defense, right? So that was
it's defense, it's offense, blah blah blah. No. But I wanted to find the quote where he's like, the enemy's within, but I guess it's not there. Huh.
But either way, there was a lot said, right? But now I was going to get to where you were talking about cancer treatment and where's my cancer treatment. At the same time, or the same day, Trump also had the CEO of Pfizer, along with a bunch of others, obviously Dr. Oz and and Kennedy, and they were all there, right? And I guess there's some sort of I don't really understand it this much, dipshittery. But there's some sort of issue with price comparison to other, they said this word, rich countries. So richer countries that are charging astronomical amounts for medications because they can afford it affects the price of medications here that Pfizer charges. So it's like, but Pfizer, what are you charging in like a developing nation? It's like you're not charging the same as you're charging us. You're charging way less. Saying that, oh, well, in order to get them meds, you're taking the hit by charging us more, but you're not, because you're still making money off of all that. You know what I mean? So it just seemed like some sort of convoluted speech as to to allow them to sort of fuck with the pharmaceutical market. I'm just using that term because it sounds like they're just trying to switch shit around to change prices here in the guise to make the prices lower for us. But I don't think that that's what's going to happen.
They kind of control the market. They control their own market because there's patents and there's not many manufacturers of these drugs.
Right. And then when they become whatever and they try to keep things for as long as they can.
One of the medications I'm on for multiple sclerosis.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have insurance, it's like $60,000.
Yeah.
But if you don't have insurance and you're poor, the company will charge you $5.
Right. It's like AstraZeneca. Is it AstraZeneca?
No.
Who's the company that makes your medication? That makes that medication?
Don't know.
Well,
Gene Tech or something.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought it was maybe one of the majors, but
no, it's not Pfizer or one of the majors.
Mm-hmm.
And so, liberal women after Trump warned about Tylenol.
Well, you did see the montage videos of actual women who were pregnant, just eating the Tylenol.
I think we watched that last.
Right. Now, this is how I feel about it. Do I think Tylenol is causing autism? No, I don't. I'm also not a doctor, but I don't think autism is caused by one thing, and it's also like genetic code that is unlocked. Maybe a Tylenol molecule does do that. I doubt it's just the Tylenol though, but everybody who's just munching down on Tylenol pregnant, it's like you may need to chill because you may have other issues that could affect that baby if you do take Tylenol. You should really talk to your doctor before you do that, like they say, because there's a reason why you got to talk to your doctor.
There's also 2 studies that show there is a correlation between Tylenol, well, not Tylenol, it's acetaminophen, or however you say that fucking word.
Acetaminophen, yeah.
Acetaminophen and autism, but specifically ADHD. So it's not like,
but
there's 2 studies. The one is Harvard, and the other one is like New York Presbyterian. No, it's something else. But the thing is, like we discussed last time, is they didn't research.
Why does this keep coming up? Testicular cancer.
That's the end of the video.
Oh my god! I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, every time I'm like, I want to laugh, but I'm trying to have the serious conversation with my.
But it does not mean it's the cause. It means, like I said last episode, it could be the fever. What got them sick to begin with that caused them to take the Tylenol?
That's right. You did say that. Yes, and it could be the cause and effect of whatever was happening around it. Right.
Did you see this? You sent me this. What is this? Is this real AI? Is this real AI? This kind of looks like it could be AI.
I think it's real.
Hold on.
Straight face.
amazing. Because you got that
Grimy. I don't know. Like, do you think that was a legal move?
Well, I'm more curious about this. Hold on, let's punch them down. And if you're holding me like this, punching me like that is not going to stop me from getting back up and beating you to death.
I have a question now. The Paralympics, right? Now, if you're in the Paralympics, like, and you're like that guy Oscar Pistorius, right? And you have no legs. The guys that you're running against are also people who are missing lower limbs, correct?
Theoretically, yeah.
Okay. You're not racing somebody who has lower limbs and is just missing an arm. Everybody who's racing in that race is missing a lower limb, right?
Allegedly.
So, wouldn't you have to have matching limbs in this scenario?
I don't think that's as important, though, is
No,
it?
I'm just saying you could use the wheel as a weapon. You could just roll over a toe, bro. You know what I mean? Like, there's different... Like, he just threw him off his chair. Like, that's obviously... You should have just done that first before you let this guy toss you to the ground.
Yeah, that would make sense.
You could have just flipped him at any point.
Yeah. You didn't have to let yourself get flipped over and punched in the arm for no fucking reason.
Shouldn't this be karate with just two sets of wheels?
I was a little low, just adjusting my mic.
I mean, honestly, it should be wheels on wheels, stumps on stumps.
Wow, bro. Hold on, let's next video. Why does it say hitting it hard? Oh.
I've been hitting the Tylenol pretty hard lately.
Oh my god!
You hear it? Can you see it? All right, everyone.
I've been hitting the
There
Tylenol
we go.
pretty hard lately. It's my new favorite thing.
Why?
So taking Tylenol is not good. I'll say it. It's not good.
I just love Tylenol all of a sudden.
I
Like
just
the Trump
love
admin's
Tylenol.
been telling people it causes autism or something. But them trying to take Tylenol from us is a total infringement of our First Amendment. Yes, it is. I'm not going to let that happen. Hey, do you want to?
He's hilarious. This guy's
They
hilarious.
said pregnant women shouldn't take it because it causes autism in their babies.
Yeah, it's completely safe. I'm pretty inspired by all the
Yeah, there
women
they
I
are.
see on
There they are.
TikTok showing fascist Trump, who's boss, posting them taking Tylenol while pregnant. Like, that's women's empowerment right there.
Tylenol's fake from 2017.
Yeah, is it good? We actually don't recommend using any of our products while pregnant. Sounds like Tylenol's a fascist too, freaking idiots. Don't know anything about Tylenol. That makes me want to eat more Tylenol. Do you want a Tylenol sandwich? It's really good with mayo and mustard. But like, why would Tylenol say not to take Tylenol to pregnant women and men?
Maybe because it can damage their babies, and Tylenol doesn't want that to happen.
No, it's not that, because it doesn't damage babies.
How do you know that?
Because Trump says it does. Why do they make these so hard to open?
Push down in turn.
I got
The irony behind it is, I don't necessarily think, like I said before, I don't think Tylenol is directly responsible.
Yeah.
But he's not wrong pointing out the hypocrisy behind it, because wasn't there something that happened like 5-ish years ago where everyone said trust the science or something?
Oh yeah, and then a
They say
bunch of people
trust
did, but then a bunch of shit still happened, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
that was weird.
It was such a long time ago. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was like so long ago that it doesn't even matter anymore.
Sometimes with traumatic experiences, you block it out. But I can ask you a question, and I think I asked you this last week because I think we maybe watched a clip of Trump saying that Tylenol's very bad. When he said it was very bad, do you think the Tylenol fucking CEO is just like, bro, what the fuck? Like, you don't think like they're just like, this sucks. Like, you're totally killing our sales. Not to mention a lot of other anti-inflammatories you shouldn't take while you're pregnant too. I think it's all of them you shouldn't really.
Once again, go back to 5-ish years ago. If you remember correctly, they said in the beginning, do not take Tylenol to fight the fever for COVID.
I don't remember that.
They
I
said
don't remember
avoid,
that.
was it, hold on, what was it originally? What?
Damn, Tylenol getting a lot of hate. Tylenol's getting a hate that like that talcum powder got. Baby powder. You remember baby powder? Like eventually ended up causing people testicular cancer and like breast cancer.
Ibuprofen was originally rumored to be bad, and it made symptoms worse. Allegedly, it was never confirmed. But like they said, don't take. Doctors were saying it too. Don't take this. Take Tylenol instead, or whatever. They didn't want, which is so weird.
Listen, I just feel like everything, it's cyclical how things get picked to be the scapegoat.
Yeah.
Now, it could be a lot of other things involved with, everything. Diseases, autism, blah, 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 blah. But they're just like, okay, well, let's just pick the one right now because apparently autism's a hot button issue because are there two, like...
Well, I think it became a hot button issue when RFK said by September or whatever we'll know what causes autism.
But that's too convenient, man. Because the thing is, it's like,
and then he goes ahead and cites a study that's 5 years old or something. No, it's more than 5 years old, isn't
more,
it? Like 7 years old or something.
Yes, it's yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's he had to already know or had already someone in his ear saying this study is what we're going to use or this study connects it to this. But it's not just that. It needs to be researched further. Like, you can't just...
Yeah, because there's probably plenty of people who came out autistic and even severely autistic who had a parent who never took Tylenol in their life. There's also a possibility of that. Like, not everybody in the world is taking Tylenol.
It also would have helped if that parent didn't drop the kid on his fucking head. No, I'm kidding. All right, so this video, this guy, he can fast travel. The guy can fast travel. That's what.
Well, it's interesting because I don't know if maybe you have fast traveled before, but after watching this video, I've definitely fast traveled a few times.
Hi,
in my life.
Are you okay?
Chelsea, where are we?
We're in the quad.
Oh my god, I think I fast traveled.
You didn't fast travel, you blacked out.
See, Chelsea, I'm gonna fast travel to my girlfriend's.
No, Tommy, don't get blacked out and go to your girlfriend's house.
There were! What time is it?
Yeah.
The final. It's right now. It's all the way across campus.
So you my car?
No.
Tommy, that's vodka from last night.
Where's the test? You took the test. You showed up an hour late, completely drunk. Your hair was wet. Everything was wet. And that's not even the craziest part. You want to know the craziest part? I'll tell you the craziest part. Part I don't even get. Can't even wrap my head around this part. You're going to love this part. You got a perfect score.
I want to go to Poland. What? Did it work?
You showed up to the airport drunk as a skunk and asked how fast they could blast you to Poland. You're being charged with public intoxication.
Oh, and kid, welcome to Poland.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he wouldn't sound American if he's welcome to Poland, bro.
Hilarious. That's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, blackout. I mean, look at it this way: are you the master of time? If there really feels like no time has passed in between 2 points in time?
Well, after watching that video, I have definitely fast traveled before.
Hell yeah.
Fast traveled from McMahon's to my bed, and I don't know how that happened.
I've definitely fast traveled and ended up in a different part of the world.
Okay, you have me beat, because I definitely fast traveled from the Wicked Monk to my bed, too.
That happened dozens of times.
I remember waking up. And
there's a portal in the Wicked Monk. Let's just put it that way.
I remember waking up. This is the old location too. Mm-hmm. I woke up in my bed,
and the portal was in the phone booth. If you remember the phone booth,
I woke up in my bed, and my first reaction was, "How did I get here? And where's my car?"
Oh, the "where's my car" is the kicker.
It was in front of the Wicked Monk still, and it had 2 tickets on it.
Oh God! Dan, did you park by the meter?
Yep.
You made the big mistake, bro.
Yep.
Big mistake.
I didn't expect to drink 2 pitchers of Blue Moon and a pitcher of Guinness. I didn't expect to throw up all over the bar either. Yeah, I threw up all over the bar at the Wicked Monk. All over the bar.
God. And they let you back in that place?
I never thought about that because I didn't remember any of it. I didn't remember any of it. I was sitting down. I remember finishing a pitcher of Blue Moon. Mm-hmm. I remember hearing Glassjaw and like rocking to Glassjaw, like going, "Yeah, I like this, whatever." And then I woke up in bed and I'm like, "Why is my knuckle red? Why do I feel like shit? where's my car? And what the fuck is going on?
Nice.
And apparently, 3 mutual friends of ours took care of me all night. They thought I was going to die because I was breathing.
Oof.
I was breathing weird or something.
Damn.
Yeah, it was pretty fun for them. Not really. They were terrified. I don't remember any of it, so must have been fun.
I took a 100 milligram edible and ended up in San Francisco once.
From New York.
From New York.
Did you already have the ticket before taking the edible?
I had the ticket before taking the edible, yes. So it wasn't necessarily a blind fast travel. I didn't just randomly end up I was planning on going to San Francisco, but I ate the edible, right? And I don't remember boarding the plane. I don't remember. This wasn't a true 100 milligram. For sure, it was definitely, one of the sketch edibles that we used to get back in the day. I thought it was 100 milligram, and it fucking knocked me out.
So
5 hours.
From that aspect, I've fast traveled from New York to Vegas. Oh, and back.
And back.
Because I remember waking up on the way back from Vegas, and I wake up and I look at Lou and I go, "Did we land yet?" He goes, "No, we haven't took off yet. It's a delay." I'm like, "Okay." And I went back to sleep and woke up in New York.
Going back from Vegas, we were stuck. Weren't we stuck for like 2 hours in that airplane before we took off? I'm pretty sure we were.
I don't know because I was unconscious from the edible. It was
nice.
Great. You sent me this as well, and this confuses. As someone who's worked with electricity, this confuses me very much.
Okay, now hold on a second. We're gonna watch this video because it's a pretty good summary of what this page is about. Follow this page, Good Enough Construction. If you get a chance, it's hilarious. If you're into construction or home renovation or anything like that, this is the do nots.
The do nots?
Oh, definitely don't evers.
Okay, let's see.
Little air toaster bath. Here's the down Good Enough Construction bathroom, the golden shower, the golden throne with the hidden paper.
What?
Followed by our panel. In our room out here, we have the wall fan.
Why is the
and the floor fan, little water
window
spigot.
fan.
This is my certificate of completion for YouTube University.
Matthew.
1 week's worth of damn measuring tapes.
Why is there measuring?
Was a week's worth. Out here, we got the main room. And we got our wall shame right here. And prescription drop off. We got the certificate here, certificate of achievement, most likely to succeed. Another fan right here on this wall. Coming over here, we have the other breaker panel that controls the other half of the house. We got a refrigerator we really don't want to open, don't know what to do with. We haven't got the cabinets yet, but we got this wood tile on the wall here. I know it looks real. That is actually sticky paper on the wall. We got our built-in appliances here. It's a hell of a roof in this back room. We got a washing machine room here. And then it all circles back right here to the main room. All right, these motherfuckers pretty tough.
So that's a tour. That's a tour of this one house that they're in, and yeah, the videos are hilarious. So follow Good Enough Construction and go through all their videos. Like them, they're awesome. They're funny. They're hilarious. Yeah, the Methu is what gets me because now I'm going to start using Methu.
Oh God, bros. I love bros. I love bro comedy.
Hey Kurt. You're such a giblet. What did you just call me? Tired of derogatory terms that can get you canceled? Yeah. You thought I said one thing, but I didn't say anything. Introducing giblet.
Sounds negative. It is. So what does it mean? It's a derogatory term that applies to all humankind.
If you're a human, you're a giblet.
Who owns the word?
No group owns it.
But couldn't you get in trouble for a word like that?
Not yet. So use it while you can, giblet.
How do I know when I'm being a giblet?
You ever forget to flush?
Yeah, all the time.
You dirty giblet, you.
I procrastinate all the time.
Fucking Jibby. My brother forgot my birthday.
That's a giblet if I've ever seen one.
Always late for work. You're a real nigga for that.
Whoa,
What the hell?
whoa.
Okay.
No,
I feel like I'm being
he's just
attacked.
a giblet for that.
Giblet.
What?
Everybody's late for work. He's just a giblet for that.
Oh. Yeah, I'm a giblet for that. Hell yeah, my giblet.
Yeah. let me get some of that. Oh, okay.
The straight handshake got me. Oh man.
No, we own the word. They can't be throwing that word around like that. It's offensive.
People crave a word that's negative.
So we're giving it to them.
Truth is, we're all in this together.
So if you're going to be negative towards a group of people,
Be negative towards all groups of people.
And you won't get canceled for it.
We're just a bunch of giblets sitting on a rock in space.
I'm a proud giblet.
I'm a giblet.
I'm a giblet.
Are you a giblet?
I'm a giblet.
I'm a giblet. And you're my giblet, bro.
You're my giblet. My giblet, bro. So that's 2 new words to the vernacular. Methu and giblet.
Wow, we're on a roll today.
Try to make a third one.
So I have a conspiracy about these ticks, by the way.
Let's hear it.
So vegan mad scientists want to find a way to make the entire world vegan. So they go, what's something that we can do? Okay, let's get it in a mosquito. And they couldn't do it. It was too hard to get this virus in a mosquito. So they said, oh, look, it seems to work well with ticks. So let's get them in ticks. Because have you heard about this?
Well, the Lone Star tick has made its way to California and infected over hundreds of people in the last few months with AGS, a rare disease that makes humans allergic to red meat and dairy, forcing them to go vegan, which is interesting considering a World Economic Forum scientist said this just a couple years ago.
About milk intolerance, and some people are intolerant to crayfish. So possibly we can use human engineering to make it the case that we're intolerant to certain kinds of meat, to certain kinds of bovine proteins. And there's actually analogs of this in life. There's this thing called the Lone Star tick, where if it bites you, you'll become allergic to meat.
Why would you
I can sort of describe the mechanism. So that's something that we can do through human engineering. We can kind of possibly address really big world problems through human engineering.
That was Dr. Matthew Lau in 2016 when there was about 34,000 cases of AGS in the United States. Skip forward to today, there's over 450,000 Americans affected. What are they getting from Texas to California? Climate change. What is it ultimately going to help? Climate change. Just crazy that this happened in Martha's Vineyard, where the global elites and WEF members vacation in the summer. Is this just an experiment or a coincidence? As always, let me know what you think about all of this.
I don't think there are such thing as coincidences.
I mean,
Jesus Christ, man.
Some things.
We send each other way too many videos. We got like 40-something videos to get through. It's like,
yeah, you know what? And I'm just, it's you're getting double because you're getting the bro sends that obviously I do want to show on the pod, but you're also getting the pod relevant sends.
Yeah.
So you're getting all the same stuff that I'm sending this guy, and this guy.
Full disclosure, I definitely go through them. I don't watch them, but I go through them to see like what it would be about. And some of them I decide not to show. Most of them are mine, not yours, because most of mine, some of them are real bad. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm not gonna.
Well, thank God you have a second thought, because I do sort of. I guess I do have a little restraint, because I think there was a point where it was a little over a year ago. It was like 2 years ago. We were just playing a lot of death videos. Do you remember we were doing the construction safety shit for a little while?
Yeah.
And there was a slew in the middle of that. Like, I think because of this construction safety stuff, the algorithm kept sending us like some violent shit. We were watching like Indian dudes get like hit by power lines and stuff that. Yeah, it was getting crazy, dude.
Yeah. All right, what's this? Democrats, are you all going to speak up?
Something else happened around free speech, something nobody seems to be talking about, happening in the background while none of us are paying attention. The bluest state in the country, California, just passed the most censorious bill ever to be introduced in this country, SB 771, passing the assembly on...
Okay, yeah, I heard about it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it went away.
SB 771 or SB...
Complete statewide government censorship is Gavin Newsom's signature. Now, am I exaggerating about how bad this bill is? No, I am not. Here is the actual bill. You can pull this up yourself on the state's website. The bill's called SB 771. It's called Personal Rights Liability in Social Media Platforms. In Section 2, Title 23 of the bill, it defines the penalties for breaking this new California law. If you post something on social media anywhere online that the state of California deems to be hateful, there's a penalty for that reckless violation a civil penalty of up to $500,000. For an intentional, knowing, or willful violation a civil penalty of up to $1 million.
That's a lot of money.
So hold on. Trump's a dictator. But
Right.
That's not.
And you know how I feel. I feel that they're both acting like that. Like, you understand, like,
both parties.
When you have one person who's doing dictator like stuff, it's going to get countered with other people who are in power doing dictator like stuff. You know, like, honestly, a lot of people don't realize that if you look at the broader spectrum of World War II, and we constantly look at, Hirohito as being the monarch of Japan, which in a way is a dictatorship, And then you have, obviously, Adolf Hitler, Mussolini, Stalin. We're calling all these people dictators, right? Now, I'm not saying Roosevelt was, but he did stay a third term, right? Because it was wartime. Very Star Wars, like the Chancellor, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And then you have Winston Churchill, who de Gaulle, I'm pretty sure, he didn't have much power in France, but Churchill had a lot of power and had a lot of overreaching power, even over the monarchy at the time of war, which some people can consider those executive powers he took to be dictator-like. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're always going to get a cause and effect equal to that. So you're going to get the equal pushback to a Trump from the opposing party. You know what I mean? So you're going to get, right now they're trying to pump Gavin Newsom up to be the next candidate, the 2028, right? So they're trying to get him in a position. Mm-hmm. So at least this is the plan that they have now. This could all change. We all saw it all change because there was Biden and not Biden and all that stuff. They don't know what they're doing yet, but it looks like they're gearing him up.
It was always Biden until he was literally fucking
incapacitated. Yeah, pretty much deemed not good. So
not worthy.
Gavin Newsom doing this flex is it how he's going to handle the country if he wins or something like that? Because honestly, there were governors who handled their states who became presidents who didn't handle the country the way they handled their state. Like Clinton didn't handle the U.S. the way he handled Arkansas. Reagan didn't handle the U.S. the way that he handled California, and so on and so forth. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
We don't powers that be are going to be the ones that make our country move forward. It's not,
So allegedly, this is what happened right after Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk, and this is pretty much a skit, but it's very I don't believe this story that they're pushing with this whole thing.
There's a lot of holes. There's a lot of holes.
I don't know if Candace Owens went off into the deep end, but she's claiming she spoke to someone in the family and the father did not turn him in. In fact, that's not true. And that the Discord messages were originally Discord released them and said, these are not real. Remember?
I feel like I know how emotional she's getting with a lot of this stuff. I feel like if she took it down a little bit, people would give her more credibility. But the fact that she's looking very volatile throughout this whole thing doesn't...
But look at the way she handled what's her name from France. It was the same kind of tone.
Yeah, and I understand this is how you get attention because that's how, Alex Jones got attention and stuff like that. And, it keeps that audience. But the thing is that she's very smart and does bring up a lot of good points. But the thing is that people who are sensible will ignore her when they see that she's being overzealous. Even though I think, trust me, I am just as sus, you know what I mean, about all of it as she is. Probably, maybe, let me not compare myself to her because she was, supposedly friends with Charlie Kirk and all that stuff. And but I question everything anyway. I think everybody's lying all the fucking time powers that be, they're always lying. There's not ever, or there's omission. You know what I mean? And the thing is, I could see where her paranoia is getting struck, but the thing is that sometimes you got to take it down a little bit.
So, once again, this is allegedly what happened right after shooting him.
Oh God! I can't believe I just did that. I should probably get the heck out of Dodge, but first,
Let me text my leftist trans lover every detail of what I just did and why. Planning for a week. Engrave the bullets. Disassemble the rifle, reassemble the rifle, disassemble the rifle, reassemble the rifle, disassemble the rifle, reassemble the rifle without a screwdriver while running. Put it in the woods, covered it in a towel. I did this for you. And send. Alright. It's a good thing that Tyler
if you sent
Robinson, someone who has a 4.0 GPA and a 34 on the ACT, is smart enough to know that there is
send it
no
on
way
WhatsApp.
that the FBI could ever get a hold of my text messages.
Why didn't he just send it on WhatsApp? Why didn't he just?
Yes.
Because he sent it through regular text, right?
And
Like
the
that
way,
was.
and
Yeah.
the way it sounded, it didn't sound like people of his age how they talk.
The vernacular is off.
Yes.
Yeah, and the fact that obviously wasn't he like, okay, all right, everybody's saying groiper. Aren't these like homebody gamers, you know what I mean, who know a little bit better about tech shit, you know?
Yeah, theoretically.
And that you would know that anybody could find if I text you SMS or whatever whatever blah 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 or Apple through iPhone, it's there. Like they could find that shit. I thought wouldn't you be using something encrypted to send a message to somebody that you don't want other people to see?
No, but I don't think, you could also think he just did that and he didn't think anyone saw him. He didn't think they were onto him. But like, you got to think that they can probably scan all the messages they know they could scan the area probably, but why would they go that far for Charlie Kirk? That's a little sus too.
The easy answer is they could just say that he's stupid and young, right? That's the easy answer. But that's not the answer, dude. Come on.
This is also another thing I found, and I thought it was interesting.
Policy do you support to make it easier for young people to buy homes? Get rid of BlackRock purchasing a bunch of homes and renting them back to us? Okay, so like seize their assets? Not seize their assets. Make it illegal that asset managers over $500 billion can't buy single family homes. Okay, I really agree with that. That's actually that's great. Thank you. Yeah. It's a super simple policy fix. If you have assets under management over 500 billion or 100 billion, you should not be in the single family home business. Period. Okay. And that's artificially boosting housing prices across the country. I believe homeownership is a moral good for all humans.
Wow, I didn't mean to click that.
No, but it's fine. The point stands. Let's just talk about that, right? Let's talk about people that get known for saying one thing who do also espouse things that you, just whoever you are, might actually, sort of agree with. And that's a good example. And now, like, oh, did he deserve to die because, he had other opinions? It's like, obviously not, and stuff like that. But the thing is that what happened is, and this is what I think is your responsibility as a public speaker, anybody who's a public speaker, is that if you see that you are getting highlighted on one aspect of your policies, I think it's your duty to double down on the other side too, to try to get other people back into the talking circle instead of doubling down on all the policies that push people away. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if it's like,
yeah, I don't think he did that though.
If you're AOC, wouldn't you just want to lean into more like healthcare, like this, that, the other thing? Like, you're not going to do so much social stuff because all this social stuff, everybody's so inflamed over that no one's going to listen to you when you're actually talking about policies that actually are going to help the community and people.
None of them do that. None of them realize that.
And on the other side too, and on the red side too, dude, they do that the most actually, where they just like double down on like, oh well, if you think I'm racist, then blah blah blah, and it's like, maybe don't double down on that. Maybe do what Charlie Kirk
ever doubled down.
No, he didn't. I'm saying others. I'm saying all the others that are in this umbrella don't practice that kind of stuff. And
because I would argue if in that case that you're saying is that's how they really feel, and now it's coming out, and there's your racist, and that's the problem. If they're not calling it out and they're embracing it, then that's you. You shouldn't embrace it either. This guy's copying the other guy, the guy that eats food and talks. You know who I'm talking about?
I froze.
I hear
You
you.
say where I lost you when.
Back?
Yeah, I've been back for the last 10 seconds, but I froze for like 15 seconds before
Okay.
that.
So what I said was, you know, the guy that eats and says things. He's like, oh, blah blah blah. This is the opposite. This is the opposite side of that. Not the opposite, but like
the antithesis.
If you think it's weird that the FBI is taking evidence from an active crime scene and posting it on Twitter minutes after it happens, that's because it is. It's fucking weird. If you think it's weird,
because what we're taught is that open investigation shit is hush hush, right? Like you're not supposed to be blabbing all that stuff until everything's pretty much figured out, you know.
Here's another one. Cops, you know, cops are dangerous.
Sir, just gotta say, I'm a CPO holder. Okay. Firearm in here. It's right there, like down there.
Okay. You got your driver's license?
Yes,
and
sir.
Your CPL real quick?
Yeah.
You know what I'm pulling you over today?
For what?
You know what the speed limit is on Michigan Avenue?
45?
40? You were doing 54.
Damn, I was doing 54?
Yeah, especially when you went around that car to pass. You got any insurance on the car, Josh?
Yeah, it's in the glove box.
Yeah, can I see it real quick?
I got the insurance too.
Yeah, can I look at it real quick?
Yeah, I forgot to tell you the car my mom named too.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I did write you a ticket. I gave you 1 to 5 over rather than the 14 over you're doing. So I gave you a little bit of a break on that, all right? You just gotta make sure you take care of this in the next 14 days. Address, website, phone numbers, all on the ticket there for you.
All right, cool. Thank you,
right,
officer.
You
have a good one. You too.
What you pull me over for? I didn't do nothing. Let me speak to y'all supervisor before I crack your punk ass, yo, my mama. F y'all. Y'all got me effed up. Get off me. I didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing. Or.
Officer, just gotta say.
And the biggest point there is he had a gun in the car. He said, hey, I'm a licensed gun carrier. He's also a gun trainer, I believe.
Yes.
Right here, and you know.
So this scenario, obviously, you're seeing as the model scenario. But let's be honest, is that you put a different cop in that situation. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, like it ends up that way a little bit because of what this video is trying to demonstrate at the end. But it also ends up that way the same way this kid is doing everything. It has also ended up where he's on the hood of a car with his hands behind his back. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it also has happened where a similar situation, kid's polite, he gets shot because he says he has a gun in the car, and the kind of cop that's pulling you over, where they're pulling you over. He may be in a municipality where young black dudes are used to getting pulled over by other black officers.
He also, what's the words I'm looking for? He also handled that perfectly well.
Yeah, obviously, and also a little sus that this maybe it was staged. I don't think it was staged. I think this was actual, a candid situation. But it's also an outlying situation. You know what I mean?
No, but I think the outlying situation is what you're talking about. That's the outlier, because it's if that was not the outlier, you'd be seeing it 100 times a day, because cops interact with people 100 times a day.
True. I would agree that this you'll never hear about. I'll agree that you'll never hear about this.
People arrested in my car, and they could have prevented the situation had they just shut the fuck up and was actually honest.
Right.
And they were white, but it was in East New York, so it doesn't matter if you're black or white over there.
Anybody who's there gets arrested.
They fucking they didn't bother any of us except one person in the car, because I think they were just like, they weren't looking for weed, but he was being a dick to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then they searched him and found weed, and they go, okay, now you're going in. We weren't gonna fucking bring anyone in, but you're fucking being a dick, and we have a reason.
Let's just look at it this way. Every interaction isn't a carbon copy of every interaction, right? Every police interaction is always different, because there's always, like, if you sneeze in certain situations, you'll get shot. If you sneeze in certain situations, a cop might just be like, what did you say? If you sneeze in certain situations, a cop may say, bless you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So any one of those things could happen.
I think the getting shot one is like, the extremely rare one.
I'm going to say agree with you on that, but the arrest in the same situation has definitely gone down in a municipality where there's definitely not a lot of black kids driving their mom's cars. You know what I mean? It looks like a nice car too. Do you understand what I'm saying? In this municipality, this interaction may happen a lot, but that doesn't speak for the country. Do you know what I mean? That doesn't speak for like Montgomery and Alabama. That doesn't speak for, East New York. That doesn't speak for, like San Jose, California and Silicon Valley. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure interactions are different with cops in those municipalities. And there's like a fucking spectrum of interactions. And there's definitely white dudes who've been in this situation who've done exactly what this kid did, who got arrested too. You know what I mean? But definitely, a lot of black dudes in jail. Let's just put it that way. And
the reason why he didn't get arrested is because there was no reason to arrest him.
Right. There was no reason. Yeah, obviously no reason. It's a ticket situation.
If there is a reason, or you give them a reason, you're going to get arrested. And
let me just put it this way.
Situation that happened with the kid in the car.
But what if it smelled like weed in the car and the cop mentioned it? You know what I mean?
But did it smell like weed in the car?
No, it didn't. But in those scenarios, what happens?
Well, first off, I've had that happen to me several times.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hear the argument, that's because you're white, because no. And it gets deep because we literally were just smoking a blunt and there was weed in the car.
Mm-hmm.
And I even gave them a PBA card, which would be the privilege I had. However, they said, this is printed, this is fake. Fuck this shit. We don't give a fuck about this shit.
That's the point that I'm trying to make. Any one of those scenarios could happen just like that, where they just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but I've been pulled over probably over 200 times in my life. 200 times. I've probably been pulled over. That's a lot. Think about that for a second. I just said that. That's a lot. Because I used to get pulled over every time I fucking pulled into Harlem to go to my girlfriend at the time's house.
So I got a question. How many times in those 200 times did you get pulled over and arrested?
I was never arrested.
Can I ask you this question then?
Yes.
If you're a black man in America and you got arrested and you got pulled over 200 times, do you think it's the same likeliness that they're not going to get arrested, or they're more likely to get arrested because of the 200th cop? Eventually the 200th cop is going to be a dick.
Law.
Well, he was breaking the law by going 54 miles an hour.
It's not an arrestable offense. He got a ticket. He didn't get out of the ticket. He got a ticket.
10 miles an hour more, it's reckless driving in certain jurisdictions.
He gave him a break. He brought it down, he said, and gave him a break.
Of course. But the thing is, this is this one scenario.
Yes, but you have to think in your head. Yeah, are there cops that want to go out there and be a piece of shit? Maybe. But most of them just want to do their fucking shitty job that doesn't make enough money and go home. They don't want to deal with bullshit. They don't want to.
There's an incentive to collars, though. You know that.
There is, but they don't want to do it because then you get stuck more overtime or more bullshit to deal with.
Then you got 2 babies coming, man. You got to do something.
No, a lot of these guys don't want to do overtime. They wait to do all their overtime when it's time to fucking retire.
I'll tell you what, it's probably more true now that you're right about that, because it's a lot of younger cops and that mentality does not exist anymore. It's the way that it used to, where it's like, I'm going to work 80 hours a week. Like, people don't do that anymore.
No one wants to do shit. This is crazy.
Today, I am announcing this government will make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this parliament.
Mandatory.
Spell that out.
You know where that's coming next.
In the United Kingdom, if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that.
If that works,
the Chinese are
there,
also ranked, given a mark.
It's gonna come here. If it works there, it's gonna come here.
Crazy. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, so it's like everybody gets a punch card. Do you know what that means? That means everybody gets a punch card. You know, if you need that digital ID to work, it's like you're not clocking in every day, but you're clocking into where you go. Do you know? You know what I mean? What the fuck? Pops, bro, that's teetering. That shirt's teetering.
I don't know, but I found this and I'm like, no fucking way. No
Grandpa wearing nostalgia fit. Yeah, that is some.
Wow.
Dude, bro.
That's.
Oh.
Here's
So
the part where I start skipping
yeah.
through shit.
Yeah, but isn't this a good segue? You know, the Kit Kat Clan to the deep dive we were supposed to do.
I know. Hold on, I'm looking for it. I'm trying to find it. I have like 50-something video.
So while Mike is looking for it, I think we were going to, because we had no clue who this kid was up until recently, and we were going to do a little bit of a dive into what was his name again?
Nick Fuentes.
Nick Fuentes, who is the head of the Groypers. He's the lead Groyper.
Allegedly. Oh, I hit the wrong button.
Allegedly. So allegedly meaning that he does not espouse himself.
I've heard him say it before though, so he kind of does. He kind of leans into it a little.
So he's sort of accepting the population's deeming him, but he's not like anointing himself.
Exactly.
So do we have any Groypers watching? Are there any Groypers watching? Could you please explain to me what your philosophy is?
So I found this.
What is the Groyper philosophy? What the fuck is a Groyper?
And she just started, and she gained a pretty big following, and I enjoy her content. And she's gonna react to.
When Mike says he enjoys their content, that means he likes masturbating to it.
Not yet. Not yet. Maybe one day, but until then.
All right, so today we're going to be looking at a video from Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes has his critiques about the Black community, and I just thought it'd be interesting to take a look and react to one of his more recent posts that he made on his America First show that airs on Rumble. Yeah, I'm just going to get right into it.
And what I'm talking about in particular is not just the propensity of young Black men for violence, which we see all the time, and we're well acquainted with that. And you see it in Chicago and in New York, and the clips go viral all the time now on Twitter and TikTok. I'm talking in particular about the brutality, because I feel like there's an extra layer there that a lot of people don't acknowledge. It's not just that it's always young Black men that we see on the subway wielding a knife, or in Chicago carjacking a couple or something. It's not just that it's always the usual suspects committing the violent crimes, the property crimes, menacing the public, taking over the streets in these teen takeovers. It's the level of brutality. It is actually a matter of degree. And the scene that I'm talking about is we don't just see Black violence. We see clips of brawls and battles at gas stations, in subways, in cities where Black people are doing two things in particular all the time. One is they gang up on their victims. Whenever you see a brawl with Black people, it's never one white guy versus one Black guy. If a white guy's fighting a Black guy, he's fighting a whole crowd of Black people. And
Can we
whether
pause
they
it?
came with that Black guy or
Pause
not,
it.
even if they're just
Yeah,
bystanders.
Sorry, it takes a second.
So, and he could continue on. It's all garbage as far as I'm concerned. And I'll tell you this. It's not a young Black man thing. It's a young man thing. Gangs have existed for thousands of years, just street gangs.
Well,
Once
he's
you get
not
enough.
talking about gangs necessarily.
No. But what happens? Do you understand what I'm saying? The mob. Okay,
Well, yes, I understand.
Okay, he's talking about how brutal. Okay, when you get any group of rage-filled males, you go to any part of the world, this exists. If you go to Guatemala, they're not Black kids who are doing this. They're Guatemalan kids who are doing this. In America, there are American kids who are doing this. And you also get the whole, migrant thing that's been happening recently with the robberies and stuff like that. But it's American kids that gang up and do this. if you go to Indonesia, it's Indonesian kids that are wielding knives and robbing people in the street. If you go to Brazil, yada, yada, yada. It goes on and on and on. So it's angry young kids who are in an impoverished situation. You put any color fucking person. The propensity, he says propensity for violence like it's some sort of genetic thing. No, it's not. Men. Jordan Peterson said this. A man should always have the capability of violence because we all are capable, but choose not to use it. Yeah. Now, children and young men who are not taught and disciplined and who have themselves not gotten beaten, because I think that's a thing. I think it's so cruel. I don't think children should get hit. But the thing is, pain is something that I think everybody should have some sort of an understanding of before they go out in the world and think that they could commit pain onto somebody else. Now, what he's saying is that he's putting it all on one group of young kids. To be quite honest with you, I've never got jumped by a group of black kids. I have gotten jumped by groups of white kids, by groups of Puerto Rican kids, and it didn't matter. The only thing was it was a group of kids who themmed one person and went after them and then mobbed them. It's not the black kid's style. That's any group of man's style is to overwhelm one person. That's what they do. That's what groups and gangs of people do.
I would argue the same point that, it's if you have a majority, an area that's the majority of the people are white, you will have issue with the young generation of white kids because they might cause trouble. Like what were we doing back in the day? I fucking stole a paintball gun and shot paintballs at the highway over here.
We robbed golf carts and got chased by the cops.
I would say that's menacing and whatnot. So I understand your perspective.
Yeah,
but he's not wrong either. But it's just he's pointing it on a specific race is doesn't make sense in the context that we're talking about it.
The problem's bigger than what he's saying, and he's using too many specifics.
And I think she's gonna agree with him. By the way,
yeah, because she's got a Candace Owens vibe. Candace Owens vibe going on
with the black person. I saw a clip from Chicago today where a group of young black thugs are mugging a group of white people, and a black security guard.
I heard about this. This is great, though.
Who was working for the bar or store that this happened outside of. He was rifling through one of the unconscious white person's pockets.
If that's true, that is insane. To think that as a security guard, you were put where you were to secure and bring order and maintain peace where you work, and the fact that you partook in the shenanigans, it's very telling about how far the community has gone.
Well, a nightclub bodyguard is not the most noblest of people,
Correct, but at the same time, they are licensed, most of them, and you have to do shit together. You can't just like all these people.
I don't think half of them are fucking licensed to do shit.
I dealt with them at the stage, bro. I dealt with them at the stage. A lot of them ex-cops,
Yes, but not at a nightclub. Not at a bar.
Well, we're not understanding. This is during the nightclubs that were thrown at the stage. When
yes, I understand when they're hired for the night. I'm talking about. I gave my cousin Sal a job because he just got out of prison. He weighs 400 pounds. He can't fucking move a lick of shit. He could be a bouncer. Absolutely. He doesn't have a license. The guy doesn't have a license. Yeah,
but still,
he's just a fat bastard sitting at a front door.
Be responsible for the safety is just robbing people
and everything, and he's being filmed by some bystander. He is rifling through one of the downed white person's pockets. You see this all the time. So one of the things, it's not just that they're violent, it's that if you're fighting one black person, you better pay attention.
Here's another one for you.
Black people are really struggling, and they're turning into these maniacs. It seems like they don't do anything right. They're obnoxious, they're rude.
So he actually cut a lot out because he's not talking about they're like that because that's how they are. You're saying they're struggling. He said the community is struggling and it needs to be changed. And it's not just the black community; it's all poverty-stricken communities.
So this video was chopped up.
Just that they cut out the very beginning, But he did say
Context
that.
is very important. Context
But he
is very
says
important.
in the very beginning they're struggling. And
They're inconsiderate, aggressive, cruel, and look, nobody hates black people for being black. If there are people like that, I think that's exceedingly rare, and I don't consider myself one of them.
No, that doesn't
The reason
exist.
that people have negative attitudes about black people is because most people's interactions with black people are negative. Most people's interactions with black people is when you're stuck in traffic and you see a Nissan Altima speeding down the shoulder.
Right. I
See,
feel
that-
attacked.
see-
I drove a Nissan Altima. I feel
Yeah.
attacked. I feel attacked.
See, and the saying, the total, like just saying, all of them, and then all of the time, and then every time, and then every occasion, and then saying that Nick Fuentes is a jackass for saying all, always, and never. You never say those things because the fact of the matter is that those three words don't exist. Always, nothing's ever always. Nothing's ever always. Even the world spinning around the fucking sun doesn't always end in the same position. Do you understand what I'm saying? So nothing is always, always, period. So saying always, this is what happens. Always, this is what happens. Because Nick Fuentes never got his ass kicked. Never got his ass kicked. Do you see how pretty this kid is?
I don't think he's
This kid,
pretty. I think
this
he looks
kid,
like a lives in
it's
a
a,
basement.
it's sarcasm, sarcasm. This blockhead, right? Obviously, he just by his accent has never lived next to anybody who's had a tan. Okay, so
he's Mexican. Also, he's Irish.
Yeah, it does. It does. So big fucking deal. Don't mean a lick of shit. He's Irish and Mexican. Doesn't mean shit because he could still be from a background that has been so sheltered and shown one thing. There are people who live in black communities who obviously see all the bad stuff that happens, but also know that this all, always, and never isn't a fucking thing. You know what I mean? And that if you go to any impoverished area, you're going to deal with it. Like, go to a fucking reservation. Go to like a Native American reservation and see the poverty there, right? And then tell me what kind of things happen. Domestic violence, people getting, like beat up in the street. It's just because, there's nobody's working, so people are drinking and getting high. And any neighborhood that you're in that happens is good. That's what's going to happen. You could go to the most backwoods fucking dank neighborhood in Poland, and you're going to get a bunch of drunks and meth heads who don't work, who are doing the same shit, stabbing each other, robbing each other at gunpoint. That's going to happen there too. And that's a country full of white people who don't want anybody brown. I don't know if you know that, but the prime minister was like, we're not taking any refugees, right? Which is whatever, your prerogative.
Where was that? Wait, Poland?
Poland, yeah. Like a few years ago, they were like, we're not taking any refugees. So, which is their prerogative. Like, I don't just...
They're also not having a lot of the problems that the other countries are having.
So, totally understand. I was going to get that, but just saying that they have enough of their own people to do that, to cause those problems. Do you understand what I'm saying? And everybody's forgetting that, he's like, these black kids in these cities and these blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, yeah. But the thing is, it's like they're Americans too. They're Americans too.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
The statistics will say it's a scary picture because it also, you have to break it down to, I think the problem is not skin color. I think the problem is poverty. And
Yes.
and if you connect poverty within the black community, it does stream down from Jim Crow and all the shit they've went through as a community. You can't deny that.
Right.
But it still is better now than it has ever been in the world.
Yeah, and I think nowadays there's more resources to get a hold of it, and there's more self-awareness for these kids to look at themselves in the mirror because we have all this technology and stuff like that, but it's still being ignored to like, it's looking in on yourself and to really, really, like, what am I doing? Like when you go about your life, and getting into all the actions you get into, it's like, where is the point where this person could be exposed to that mirror and be like, what am I doing? Because everybody else has that. And I don't think it's race specific the way that he's saying it. I think that everybody has the opportunity to be like, what am I doing to myself? A self-reflection to see whether or not this is bad or this is good.
And it's unfortunate because he talks about other things that we both agree with. I like the last video we saw where he connects all the dots that we saw on the left.
Yeah. So that was another thing.
And he's calling out now. He's like fucking like Israel is buying everyone out and making and basically what's going on in Palestine is a genocide and it's all bought and sold.
Because he got a stroke of conscience and he was probably like, well, maybe this character that I've been playing, because that's what the next thing I was going to say. I feel like he's saying all these hot button things
I
to
don't
get.
think he is because he'll bring up like FBI statistics, which don't look good for young black males, unfortunately, which is what 7% of the population and commits 40 to 50% of the crime.
But we could cherry pick fucking statistics, and I know that, and a lot of them are legit, and they're legit statistics. I know, but we could, like everybody cherry picks their statistics to make their point, right? Because you could find another statistic to say that like white men kill their wives more often than black men do. You know what I mean? And you could be like, oh, well, the divorce rate is higher in the black community, so it's like they're not married to them to kill them. So it's like, but you could say all that shit, and it doesn't matter. The point is that domestic violence is still a fucking thing, and men still kill their wives. Like that's still a thing. It doesn't matter the race.
The numbers, the murder numbers is exclusive.
But
it's not exclusive. Excuse me. The numbers per percentage and per capita are very scary.
Right.
But once again, whose fault is that? Yes, it's the person's fault who committed the crime, but also you have the ability to fix these neighborhoods, but you just don't do it. Once again, back to the whole healthcare argument I have. You have the ability to give everyone healthcare in the United States.
But you just don't do it.
You just don't do it. It would completely destroy an industry of hospitals, not hospitals, excuse me, completely destroy the insurance industry. Just like if you found a way to beat crime, get everyone out of poverty, give everyone a fair chance to make something. You then destroy a complete industry of policing, and then the prison system falls apart. So it's a whole big grand conspiracy.
That too, and it's like, well, why don't they want to keep the crime going? They need to have this.
And this is where I believe he said the N-word, and these guys are reacting to him saying the N-word. I think these guys also don't call him racist. I think they don't defend him necessarily, but they understand.
I'm the people you claim to represent. Like you claim to be.
Well, I'm starting in the middle because it's 26 minutes long.
Yeah. We'll get to the meat and potatoes.
The part where he's going to say the
men
N-word.
that are confused living in their basement, the weird kids, but I'm the weird kid, and that's my audience. Yet you're attacking me for the thing you claim to represent. And then he called him a fraud, basically saying Tucker has bragged about being rich and elite, and he's grew up privileged, and he doesn't represent the everyday American that he claims to.
Okay.
And then him and Candace have been going back and forth since their interview. I've seen them shoot some tweets back and forth because I follow Candace, and I've seen what she says back and forth to him. So. They were going back and forth last night. She even pulled up some screenshots from his from the court document trying to say he did snitch. And he was like, "Oh, I was just kidding when I said you can't read, but now I really think you can't read."
So we went past it. Actually, it's supposed to be here.
It was 106 to. Right. So I would say those post-COVID years, we're seeing the effects of less police.
That's also what he
police
said.
being pacified.
That's what I'm saying.
We just said that too, kind of.
Mixed with DEI.
We just said a younger generation of cops,
the
but
defund
cops
the police,
don't do what they used to
homicide
do.
rate went up. It doubled. It was 106 to 274.
Did you know that?
In DC.
That's more than.
And we got this chief that was at a.
Did you know about that? After COVID, the murder rate in DC doubled. That's why Trump sent in the National Guard, which was
DC was always bad. You know that, right? DC was always a very bad city.
Doubling after COVID because they took down the policing they were doing allegedly.
Yeah, no, that's sort of what I was saying. I was saying like it was already bad, and so it's like that had to have gotten that. So could we just real quick, because of the whole, we were talking about the Hegseth thing earlier and mobilization in major cities and stuff like that. Now, do I think that if it is so ridiculously out of hand that you may need to intervene? I'm not saying that that's off the table, but what I'm saying is that to preemptively send military into cities, just in case something happens, sounds outrageous.
Does it though?
Yeah, it does. Because
Ryan, I say this all the time. Our memory lasts 3 months. That's it.
Yeah.
After the Texas shooting, there was the National Guard at concerts and venues.
Right.
After
No.
9/11, the National Guard was in the subway system for years.
They're talking about deployment. No, yes, in the subways, but they were only in the subways. They're talking about like occupation in cities.
We'll see.
You know?
If they do that, that's bad.
Mhm.
And they should aid the governor and aid the police department. That's what I think
Yeah.
it should be. It shouldn't be separate entity. We're the federal government. You listen to us. No, you should be aiding in their whatever they need aid with.
Right.
Oh, we don't have enough foot patrol to patrol this area. We need more policing in this area. Fine, we'll have the National Guard patrol. But they're only doing what police would do. They're not going above. They're not the military at that point. They're acting as officers, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Or just give them more fucking money from the federal government, get more officers hired. Because I think that's another problem too. You can look at them, but then again, you look at their budgets and it's all so fucking high, and you're like, what are you doing with the money? Like, I have kids in school in the New York public system, New York school system. It is so fucking bad. There's no money. Why is there no money? I thought teachers don't make a lot. And if you're a new teacher, you don't make a lot. And if you've been there 20 years, you're making more than a third of the school's budget, by the way.
Right.
Apparently.
Right.
It's fucking crazy. The government's always been the problem. Take me to jail, government. No, I'm kidding. But
LGBTQ rally.
But it's getting to the point where, like, a lot, like,
man.
he's saying,
bro, the chief, they have to be scared of you, bro. You have to put fear inside these little kids' hearts.
That's what their dads is supposed to do. Yeah.
But I mean, hey, you know, somebody got to do it.
Somebody got to do it.
So hey, let's not.
Also, a lot of I just want to point out real quick. A lot of people, Charlie Kirk said it. A few people say that the fatherlessness in the black community is 75%. That's not true. It's lower. It's a lot lower. Not like a crazy amount, but it's like 46%.
I feel like
the versus white people is 26%. So it's still high. It's still a problem across. It's a problem, and it doesn't matter.
It's a problem across the board. Yeah. They've gotten adversely affected by that. Yeah. But the thing is, I feel just the family dynamic in general and just relationships in general has been completely upheaved. And the thing is, like, you know, you do have, you know, not as many, you know, white, you know, Latino and Asian families with fatherless children or just without a father presence in their life, that this is going to, in the next generations, as it's already in this generation, going to be a problem for, like, because you're going to get these groypers without a dad who are going to fucking go and shoot up a school. You're going to get, you know, like these, you know, like a YN in Chicago who's going to go and fucking, you know, like rob somebody at gunpoint and then maybe get themselves killed. You're going to get like, you know, no, you're going to get these examples of just disgruntled male youth that are just going to run amok. And the thing is, it's like, okay, well, we could talk about fixing it, right? But then it's like, well, we got to fix this problem now. And then we also got to fix it for the future. And whether or not you could help these, you know, teens to mid 20-year-old kids across the country who don't know what the fuck they're going to do with their life. Because a lot of these kids are still living at home, not knowing what the fuck they're going to do as a profession. Do you know how many youth are out there not knowing what the hell they're going to do for a living?
Yeah, I think once again, I was going to say we have no one to blame but ourselves, but I don't mean ourselves, but the entire system.
Yeah.
And I think the entire system has really left a lot of people behind, and it doesn't matter where you're from. You know what I mean? Like, it's just,
yeah. Eventually, I feel like it got one group of people first. And it's going to get everybody else afterwards if you're not on some sort of an upper echelon of, because like they're already getting rid of the middle class, then it's just going to be one side and the other. So if you're not on that side, then you are the other. And then if you are the other, you're the same as everybody else in the other. You know what I mean? And that's eventually is what's going to happen, because the world hasn't had a peasant class the way that it used to in like 200 years.
Well, hopefully he says he's a real ninja soon.
Let's be cracked down on crime. But I guess that's racist, though.
I guess it is.
So, long story short,
I'm the realest nigga on the internet. that's in the middle of my generational run.
Oh wow.
So just want to let you know, but before this, they basically agree with him the entire time because they're like, he's not saying anything racist. He's simply saying you gotta fix any poverty-stricken communities, and that's where the crime comes from mostly is the poverty-stricken communities. He also says it just so happens to be a lot of communities are black, but then he does that. But he's not.
How is that not a soundbite? How is that just not a soundbite that people are putting over shit?
I'm the realest nigga on the internet.
How is that? How is that not a soundbite, bro?
I guess that's racist, though.
I guess it is.
I'm the realest nigga on the internet. That's in the middle of my generational run.
Oh wow.
And it is not going to come to an end anytime soon over my dead body.
This kid needs to really chill with the narcissism like hard, bro. The world doesn't revolve around you, dude. You're not informing us anything. You're saying the same shit as a bunch of other people are saying, except people are just paying attention to you now.
Especially since he has like a zero net worth. Not that means anything, but he's not like a popular, rich talking head. He's a kid that lives in his mother's basement, basically. He's been banned from YouTube again. He's been banned from Twitch. He's been banned from everywhere. He only can go on other people's shows. He can't do anything.
But the publicity, if you keep the fire going, will make you money in the fucking long run, dude.
The thing is, like, I don't think he's wrong about a lot of things, but I do think certain things you need to be like, hey, are you a fucking idiot?
Yeah, and the thing is, he's obviously jumped. He's, his opinion on the whole world geopolitical thing, is obviously, like in agreement to a lot of other people who seem to be, trying to, prove the point in a sensible way to say that a lot of the shit that's going on there is fucked up and a lot of shit that's happening in the world is fucked up.
Before the podcast, I said he, two left, super ultra left pages I follow on Facebook posted like, hey, what's the world coming to when you agree with some things Nick Fuentes has said? And the comments are like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, he's calling out Israel. He's saying it's a genocide. He's calling out, what the hell did he call out? He called out a lot of the shit the Charlie Kirk Foundation did and shit. They're like, these people are not real conservatives. And he's like, they're using his death. Like, he's calling out Trump. He's like, you used his death as for a Trump rally. Like, the next fucking day, his widow's on TV talking, or next, like, why aren't you mourning the death of your beloved? Like, you're talking.
Yeah.
Everyone's trying to gain something off of his death. He called that shit out.
Yeah, I was listening to the Legion of Skanks, and they called it Memorial Mania because it was like fucking WrestleMania.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But now what he said there, he got in trouble for that. But did he really say it? He's not from the hood, so he probably shouldn't say that.
Yeah, I feel like just certain language and delivery. Yeah,
I have said that several times, and I said it recently too regarding someone how we knew that passed away. My friend Jan passed away. He grew up in East New York with us, and he passed away. And he was what you would call our RN, not a registered nurse.
Yanni Blanco?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No,
he died. Yanni Blanco died 2 weeks ago. He died the same day Charlie Kirk died. No, excuse me. I found out he died the same day
September 10th.
But he died that Tuesday or something, or that Monday.
Yeah, that was on a Thursday or some shit. Man. Wow, I had no idea. Yeah. I could only guess what happened though, but
like I was talking to a friend of mine about it, and he was like, "Yo, he's a real, he's a real,
Yeah,
he was the type of guy. Like, this is the story I had about him was, I went to L'Amour's with another friend of ours, and the other friend of ours met Jan for the first time ever. I didn't know, he knew I was chill with him. Met Jan. So these people that guy had issues with show up at the place and like kind of press him. They kind of corner him and start talking shit. Like, you're lucky, blah, 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 blah. And Jan goes, yo, that's your boy, right? I go, yeah. And then Jan like went in and like was like, nah, what's up? I'm here. What's going on? Like, jumped in.
Straight cockeyed with a lisp, just fucking jumped in. No, didn't give a fuck.
He's like, yo, he's with us. I'm jumping in for him. I just met him the first day, but I know he's cool with Mike, so he's cool with me. Dude, yeah, man. Sad times.
Damn.
And no one could go to the funeral. The mother, they didn't tell anybody.
Wow.
They didn't want us there.
Rest in peace.
But he was
rest in peace. Yanni Blanco. Rest in peace.
I'll end this episode on this video, which has nothing to do with, well, but it's just true.
What do you mean millennials are annoying? I'm sorry that we experienced that life-changing day in the 7th grade that made us take off our shoes at airports forever and haven't recovered from the 2008 recession that made us think we'd own homes by now. But instead we're drowning in debt and sharing our lives on social media with crippling anxiety that has increased thanks to a global pandemic. So God forbid we want plushies on our purse and tattoos of Hello Kitty to feel something. Never forget. What do you mean millennials are annoying?
I'm sorry, that hit so hard.
I have that. You see the Hello Kitty right there, right? The Hello Kitty. Yeah. So, all right. Yeah, it did hit very hard.
It hits so
you know what I mean?
hard.
Yeah.
It really does, because it's like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just,
yeah. We all thought it was going to be different.
At some point, I think, like we said once on the podcast, the particle collider happened. And,
2012.
And it split. And one timeline went this way, and one timeline went that way. And we're going up now into the abyss of this timeline. Because, I mean, we had 9/11, we had a pandemic. Well, 9/11 would have been before the particle
It was
collider.
before it, yeah.
But then we had a pandemic that shut everything down. And if you remember correctly, no, you won't. I don't know if you remember this correctly. But like, if you were on the internet watching conspiracy videos on YouTube when they were still allowed, because after COVID, they all got scrubbed.
Oh yeah. Yeah. 2007, 2008. I was deep, bro.
We knew about COVID before the news announced it, because we were watching people reporting on strange things happening in China.
Yes.
And we watched people be boarded into their house, saying no.
In January.
The government boarded up their houses, that you can't leave for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what the fuck is going on? All the conspiracy sites like, something's going on. Cut to 2 months later, and it's a shutdown. And me and you were doing a podcast that night.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck happened?
Yep. Yeah, man. Bro, I remember I sent our friends home that weekend, and we had a podcast, and it was literally that Tuesday or Wednesday, everything shut down.
Yeah, you were doing Canceled with Ryan.
Canceled with Ryan Murphy. Yep.
You were trying to cancel yourself before you started.
Yeah, and then I ended up just canceling myself anyway.
Well, I think the dipshits were canceled before they started too.
Hey, but listen.
One video gets 13 views, the next video gets 15,000.
Yeah, what the hell, dude? I mean, it really picks up what it wants to pick up.
Yeah, well, it's every little thing. It's every time we say cunt and fuck and shit and bitch and whore and twat.
It's the language thing. But we're going to continue to do it. And then hopefully, we can put out some cleaner content.
Never.
All right, dipshits. This has been another episode of Dumbfounded Dipshits Podcast. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for watching if you watched posthumously. We'll catch you next week, Wednesday, 9:30, on all the other platforms that you've caught us on. YouTube, Rumble, all of them.
Twitch.
Facebook, Twitch.
TikTok now.
Peace out. TikTok now.
I think we had people in and out of TikTok though. A bunch.
Well, hopefully still. All right, people. Peace out, dipshits. Good night, Mike.